going down at the end of the day. Potential versus pressure. I don't know about you, but I've heard for a lot of my life that I have the potential to do great things. You know, I've also told my children the same things. It's a passed down thing, like a generational thing. Like your parents saw something in you, their parents saw something in them, and it goes up the generations, I would assume. At least it seemed like it was passed down. So naturally, you know, you're gonna do the same thing for your children as well. But I got a question. How do you really live up to this potential? It could be people defining potential as what they find this potential.
Potential.
The word itself, you know, as Google just told you, it defines potential as having or showing the capacity to become or develop into something in the future. Small error to fail, considering your family doesn't want you to fail. You know, no one wants to see you fail, except people that hate on you, as the world says. My thought for today, though, is it potential or is it pressure? When I was growing up, I didn't quite understand potential. You know, you may have heard the sky's the limit, or you could do whatever you set your mind to, which I believe is entirely true. Whether it be what's considered good or what's considered bad, you know, if you want to be a good person, definitely can set your mind to it, and vice versa. So you got to make that decision. What if you don't set your mind to anything, though, and you're undecided? Does that mean that you have no potential? Is potential even real? You would think that everyone has it because you've heard it your whole life. So the people that don't have it per se, or, you know, it's because someone doesn't believe in that person. And, you know, you need someone sometime to believe in you, to give you the means to push forward. I know some of us out there, we don't really need that as much as others. But it seems like everybody needs it every now and then. Now, one other thing to think about is when it does stop being potential and it start becoming pressure. For example, if everyone in your family went to college or law school, you know, would you go because you wanted to go? Or would you go because it's tradition? So, you know, you got to think about that. Like, would you go because it's you wanting to go, something you want to do, or because everybody's pushing you in that direction? And sometimes people spot on. Your family notice things in you, tendencies that you have, ways that you handle situations, and you're able to be exactly what they think that you are. And, you know, it saves you the trouble because you don't have to really sit there and have to decide on anything. People already see it in you, just point you in the right direction. Now, you know, does it mean that you aren't living up to your potential because you don't follow in everyone else's footsteps? Maybe they don't consider you having that potential. You know, they give you the potential as much as, you know, as long as you do what they tell you to do, as long as you do it their way. It's a lot of pressure, man. That's why I asked potential versus pressure, because to me, it seems like more pressure if it's something that you don't want to do versus your potential, because they're like telling you what to do when in essence you may not want to do that. Now, when I think about it, I don't want my potential to be based on how others see me or the pressures from society. Unless I exceed them, that is. Just keeping it real. You know, it's a lot of pressure, and people feel as though they have to live up to this character. So sometimes you might not, and that might be depressing for some people. That might lead to taking them up out of here. You don't want to do that. So the only pressure or limits I want to have is how I see myself, but I know it's not all about me. We don't live in this world by ourselves. You know, people are gonna come up to you, they're gonna tell you how they feel about you. You know, you just gotta be man enough or woman enough to take it as constructive criticism. You know, dust your feet off, keep it moving. You know. Let me know how you feel in the comments. You know, we can start a dialogue, you know, see how everybody feels. Because, you know, it's good to know how you feel. That way we can kind of sort it out together. You know, I don't like to make enemies. I don't think you like to make enemies. No one wants to walk around looking over their shoulder all the time. God say the same. I see you in the next video.
At the end of the day,